Alright guys, the holidays are over and we're looking for some cozying up at home and warming up with some delicious Gourmand and Boozy fragrances. So today I thought, why don't I put together a video focusing on 12 of my favorite delicious Gourmand and Boozy fragrances that are under $100. A lot of these are even under $50, $75, different price ranges, and basically I'm going to break them down with you in regards to what they smell like and also their prices and their per mil prices. And I also have one honorable mention. The honorable mention is a fragrance that is fairly easy to get in Europe, and it's a very, very inexpensive, delicious, vanillic, caramelly Gourmand fragrance. But it might be a little more challenging to get here, and that's why I'm making it an honorable mention. So those of you guys that are in Europe, especially in France, because I see them everywhere there, you are in luck to get this one. Anyway, if you want to find out about these 12 delicious Gourmand and Boozy fragrances with the one honorable mention that are under $100, then please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. That's right, today I'm talking about delicious Gourmand and Boozy fragrances. You know, we spent all our money over the holidays and we are looking for some new fragrances, some fragrances that we can warm up with since it's still cold outside. And you know, we don't want to break the bank. We're on a budget, and these are really, really great fragrances. I mean, there's some fragrances in here that per mil prices are so low, it's so inexpensive that you're going to be like, okay, that is really, really cheap. I'll definitely get one, you know? Those kind of fragrances. And a lot of these fragrances I priced probably 3-4 days prior to this video airing, so it was shot pretty quick to when it's airing. So hopefully some of them have sales prices and they'll, you know, still be on sale, but I can't guarantee that they will be 100%. Either way, I'm going to get to the fragrances just before I let you know that if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please do subscribe to my channel by clicking the subscribe button below, and also click the bell icon so that you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. And I'm going to pick up with the giveaways very, very soon as well. We got lots of giveaways coming up. And let's get started. The first fragrance I'm going to talk about is one of the latest from Imaginary Authors. It's a Gourmand, obviously. I featured it over the weekend in an honorable mentions video of great honorable mention fragrances from 2020. This is a 2020 launch. And this is the only fragrance, it's a whiff of a waffle cone from Imaginary Authors. Traditionally, their fragrances are 50 ml, $95. This is priced at $65, so it's even a better price point. But per ml price is $1.41. So you can do the math and multiply it by 100 ml, things like that, to see what the per mil price would be for 100 ml. But either way, this smells like an ice cream shop. It's basically ice cream, heavy cream. It smells like the waffle cone, and I love waffle cones. One of my favorite things for ice cream. Vanilla caramel ice cream with waffle cones. It's delicious. And this does smell like it. It really does. The vanilla, the heavy cream, the salted caramel, Amyris, Orgeat, Saigon cinnamon. That's what's credited for the notes here. Very, very delicious, as I said. And this is on the higher price point, so obviously it's $65 for a 50 ml, but of course you can do the math and figure out what your budget is and then order it that way. So that is a whiff of a waffle cone from the house of Imaginary Authors. So this next one was also featured over the weekend. It's a 2020 launch once again. It's from Essential Parfums, and this is Divine Vanille. So a 100 ml bottle of this is $75. So this works out to be $82 per mil. So it's a great per mil price. It's under $100 for 100 ml, and it's a very, very delicious tobacco-ish vanilla fragrance. Vanilla, tonka beans, benzoin, incense, patchouli, cinnamon, and pomarose are the notes mentioned here. And as I said over the weekend, it does hint at a Herod a little bit. There is a little bit of a tobacco-ish touch running throughout it, but in the end it's vanillic, it's gourmand, it's delicious, it's yummy, and you know, tobacco-ish all the way. So I've got two different vanillic tobacco fragrances. This is the first one, and this one is from the house of Essential Parfums, Divine Vanille. So that's great for you to try if you don't know it. But the next one I'm talking about is from the house of Banana Republic, and it's tobacco and tonka bean. So this one is a great tobacco fragrance, but it's vanillic and coconutty. So sometimes it might hint at rich, warm, addictive, but not really. It's so, sort of in the ballpark, related, non-related kind of a smell. So vanilla, tonka beans, tobacco, coconut, Anjou, pear, and Mirabelle. It's actually quite delicious, and I really do enjoy this particular one. Yeah, it hints at a few other fragrances, but this one's definitely not like a flat out clone. At least I haven't experienced something similar to this that's identical, but it does hint at other fragrances. But it's 75 ml bottle, and currently at Fragrance X I have no, Fragrance Net. I have links to both of these, Fragrance X and Fragrance Net, on the in the info box, but it's currently retailing for $35 for a 75 ml, so that works out to be 51 cents per milliliter. So it's a great price if you're on a budget and you're looking for a tobacco-ish gourmand, then definitely this one. And the coconutty touch in here adds a unique, slightly milky quality to the fragrance, and also very, very lightly hinting at suntan lotion and tropical touches, you know? That's kind of cool about that one. So this next one is from a Greek house called KORRES, and this is black sugar. So I'm obsessed with this smell. Really, really yummy vanilla, caramelly vanilla, sugary, brown sugary vanilla, but very, very delicious. So it's suggested retail $48 on the KORRES website. It's a 50 ml bottle, so it turns out to be about $1.04 per milliliter for this particular one. When I do these per mil prices, I run them through a Excel file that I've had somebody create, and they automatically add sales tax to them. So some of the places will not add sales tax, like Fragrance Net and Fragrance X, but if I check out from here, I believe it'll add sales tax. Either way, $1.04 per mil, brown sugar, vanilla, caramel, violet, Asian lily. But it's a slightly boozy vanilla, sort of hinting at something like Spirituous Double Vanille, but of course it's got the sugary touches and the caramelly touches, so it goes in a different direction. But either way, very, very beautiful, warm and cozy, you know, sugary, vanillic fragrance that I really, really love. It's a great one. It's not going to break your bank. It's a new house for me, pretty much. Although I discovered KORRES back in the early 2000s with their skincare, but I haven't heard much about them recently. But some of you were telling me about this brand, and I decided to take a shot at this and another fragrance. In fact, I bought 3 fragrances, and they only sent me 2. One of them was out of stock. So anyway, a great fragrance, a very, very delicious gourmand fragrance, black sugar from KORRES. Check it out if you don't know it. So I've spoken a lot about Yves Rocher, this house that's kind of a beauty, kind of a chain like The Body Shop. Whenever I go to France, they're all over every town, and in fact in a larger town you'll see multiple ones if you're kind of like walking around where the touristy places and the shopping districts are. There's a lot of these stores in France. It's Yves Rocher, and there's no stores here in USA. I've never seen them, but there is an Yves Rocher website, and 100 ml bottles currently are on sale for $42.50. I've got 2 here that I'm going to talk to you about. First one's called CUIR de NUIT. So it's not leather, it's vanilla. It's vanilla, cacao, pink pepper, coffee. Again, this one once again reminds me a little bit of Spirituous Double Vanille, and so if you like that, it's not identical, but it's kind of in that boozy, vanillic, gourmand kind of territory. But right now, as I said, it's $42.50. Traditionally, it's 50% more. It's 50% off, so it works out to be about 92 cents per mil. It's a No, wait, is that correct? 100 ml for $42.50, I think is about 42 cents per mil. I think I got the math wrong on this one for some reason. Either way though, a very, very delicious fragrance, really, really yummy, boozy, you know, cozy, comforting, gourmand fragrance. You know, I just love this. It relaxes me. It's as soon as I smell it, it reminds me of, you know, baking. I've been baking cakes lately, here and there, and trying to, and you know, I've been using some vanilla, the Boozy vanilla, and that totally reminds me of that smell. It's so, so delicious. But if you don't know this house, definitely check them out. Go to YvesRocherUSA.com and, you know, check out their fragrances. I've got a second one coming up, and I've done a video on 3 of the fragrances from this house the year before. You can go check out. But I think they make some solid fragrances. CUIR de NUIT is a great one. And the next one I'm going to talk to you about is SABLE FAUVE. And this is the same price again. It's 50% off from their 82 something suggested retail price. So this one's created by Marie Salamagne. So Marie Salamagne did By the Fireplace, and she's done a lot of different fragrances, or actually all fragrances for Atelier des Ors, among other brands. So she's done, of course, By the Fireplace, and I think she's done a great job with this one, which is basically an amber. There's lots of amber here with benzoin and tonka beans. So those are some great notes, warm and cozy, snuggly, kind of delicious gourmand notes. And this collection, I'm highly impressed with the quality. And in my video of the 3 fragrances, this one, and then also there was one called Nouveau Genre, which is focusing on patchouli. When I bought them in France, in the south of France, in late 2019, I paid about 82 something euros for all 3 fragrances. So somehow I ended up with a deal, and obviously they're having deals there. So if you're looking for fragrances and you're on a budget, I think this is a great brand or house to check out fragrances from. Either way, CUIR de Nuit, SABLE, FAUVE are great, delicious gourmand fragrances from Yves Rocher. So this is a house that I probably haven't spoken about or a lot about lately, but I did on the old channel and perhaps earlier on this channel. This is Serendipity 3's Serendipitous. 50 ml bottle, $45. So this one works out to be about 98 cents per mil. This one to me is a caramelly vanilla fragrance, hinting at something like Lyra. So it's sort of in that ballpark. So if you like Xerjoff's Lyra and you're on a budget, obviously this is definitely one for you to try. But notes are vanilla, bitter orange, and cacao. For me, Lyra is an orangey vanilla, orangey caramelly vanilla. But this one is mostly about vanilla with that orangey touch. It's caramelly for sure, but they don't mention the caramel note in here. But it's a very delicious fragrance. You know, 50 ml bottle for 45, I think won't break your bank. I don't see much sales on this one because I buy them from Lucky Scent, and as I said, it's 50 ml for $45, which turns out to be about 98 cents per mil with tax, obviously. Anyway, if you don't know this one, do check it out. It's Serendipity 3 Serendipitous, a great vanilla delicious fragrance. So this next one is probably one of the cheapest ones I'm going to talk about, or I'm not going to say that word cheap because some of you hate it, but it's inexpensive, it's cheap, it's kind of similar. Cheap sounds kind of tacky, obviously, so it's inexpensive. But it's Zara's A Sweet Pastry in Paris, and currently I see it on Zara's website for $15.99, 100 ml bottle. Very cheap, which works out to be about 17 cents per mil, including tax, obviously. So this one features notes of lemons, sugar, and vanilla. So this is created by Nathalie Lorson, who's known for fragrances like This Is Him by Zadig and Voltaire, Bentley for Men Intense, La Ligue Encre Noire series. So she knows what she's doing. She's done some great fragrances. I totally respect her as a perfumer, and I don't see her doing much in niche, but she does some great designer fragrances, and this is very delicious. Very delicious. Lemons, sugar, and vanilla. So basically it's like a pastry smell from a Parisian bakery come alive, you know, kind of a thing, but it's a lemony kind of pastry, and I love these kind of pastries. I love lemons to begin with. When you just combine with sugar and vanilla, that's amazing. Amazing smell, you know. And this one actually is very cozy and delicious, but it has this kind of like zingy citric touch with the lemons running throughout the whole fragrance. You know, I love lemony desserts, and this is captured perfectly. It's very inexpensive. Again, this is one that's not going to break your bank. It costs less right now than buying a decant or something more expensive, so I highly recommend it. Anyway, this is A Sweet Pastry in Paris, created by Nathalie Lorson, and it's from Zara, currently selling for $15.99. And this next one is from the house of H&M. It's Vanilla Malagasy. This one is a very delicious vanilla. Once again, similar ballpark to the Spirituous Double Vanille. How many of those can we have? Obviously, it's very popular. I mean, it's a very successful fragrance for Guerlain, for people or brands to make fragrances like this. Some of you were telling me that this was discontinued recently, and I was like, I'm not sure because it had just come out. So I recently went on their website to do the research for this video, and it's there. It's selling for $29.99. 50 ml bottle for $29.99. It retails for. So with tax and everything, it's 65 cents per mil for this bottle. And it's a fruity start with peaches and plums, but it's vanilla and benzoin in the base. And it's got praline as well in the base, and I think for the heart notes it's slightly floral with jasmine. Very delicious, very, very boozy vanilla. Wonderful, delicious fragrance. Like I want to drink it, you know? Sometimes when I'm baking and I'm using the vanilla, the boozy vanilla for, you know, adding to my cakes, I kind of take a quick sip of that vanilla, you know, because it smells great. It doesn't taste as good as it smells, so obviously this is not going to taste good either. Either way, H&M Vanilla Malagasy, 50 ml for $29.99. Check it out if you don't know it. In fact, I have a video of a lot of the H&M fragrances that are in their stores, but you know, one thing I do want to mention, they're not in the stores. You have to buy them online. So that's probably why people think that these are discontinued, but they're not. So this next one is Zara's Rich Warm Addictive, currently 100 ml bottle for $19.99. This one was not on sale like this particular fragrance was, the Sweet Pastry in Paris. So $15.99, and this is $19.99. That one's a lot cheaper. Well, you know, about $5 cheaper. But this is actually a really delicious, boozy-esque, ambery, honeyed, slightly tobacco-ish leaning vanilla fragrance. It's 100 ml for $19.99, as I said, so it works out to be about 22 cents per mil for this with tax. So that's a great price for this. If you can find it, get it. I really do enjoy it. This is the previous version, though. The current version is slightly different from what I hear. This is so good. It still also reminds me of the whole spirituous double vanille from Guerlain vanilla. And a lot of people used to tell me this one reminded them of Herod. It doesn't really remind me of Herod. Maybe a little bit. Maybe a tiny little bit. It doesn't have a lot of fruity touches, and Herod has that osmanthus, which gives you that whole peach kind of accord, peach apricot accord. This one does not have that. It does have the booziness like Spirituous Double Vanille does, and of course the vanilla. It's yummy. It's really, really yummy. So it's a Zara's Rich Warm Addictive at 100 ml bottle for $19.99. This is from the house of Molinard. It's vanille. I apologize for my label. It's a little stained with you know, juice running down this thing. Molinard's vanille currently at Fragrance X for $50 for 75 ml. So it turns out to be about 72 cents per, is that math correct? 72 cents per mil? Yeah, so 72 cents per mil with vanilla and more vanilla. This is all about vanilla, and they're using a few different kinds of vanilla, so it's mostly vanillic to me. There are some creamy aspects to it. There are some light floral touches under there, perhaps like jasmine or lily of the valley or even magnolia, but it's mostly about vanilla. It doesn't go too boozy like the other vanilla fragrances, but it's really quite delicious. If you don't know it, check it out. It does go caramelly though, or butterscotchy I should say, because the vanilla seems very, very dense and thick and butterscotchy or caramelly. Vanille from the house of Molinard. If you don't know it, check it out. And in fact, they have vanilla fruity and a few other you know, vanilla patchouli, but the vanille for sure is definitely great. And this is definitely, I guess it's gourmand light for me. This is Bentley's For Men Intense, another fragrance created by Nathalie Lorson. So this one's gourmand light. I added it here because it's boozy fragrances and of course gourmand fragrances. This is ultra boozy for me. And even though it's rum, it has some cinnamon. It doesn't really have too much vanilla, if any. So it's rum, incense, woody notes, leather, benzoin. Benzoin is vanillic, obviously. It's a resin. It's kind of an ambery vanillic resin. There's the cinnamon and black pepper, but very, very delicious fragrance. It's still, it has a non-traditional gourmandy notes, but I feel like it's a very, very cozy and comfy fragrance. It's warm and spicy, rich and dense and ambery, so it's perfect for winter wear. And this one, 100 ml, $31 currently I saw online. Really, really, really inexpensive, and that works out to be 34 cents per mil. So that is a great, great price for that fragrance. Probably my favorite inexpensive fragrance. And it's my favorite boozy fragrance. I love it. I really, really love that one. So the last fragrance I'm going to end with is the one that is a little more challenging to get here in the USA, but those of you that are in Europe, I see it everywhere. Not only in France, but I see it a lot of places in France, and I've seen them in various countries like Spain, and I've seen it in Sweden, England. So this is a fragrance house called Les Centaures Gourmand, and this is Tendre Madeleine. currently at 29 euros. That is a really, really inexpensive price for 100 ml. And this one to me reminds me of Lyra for sure. Vanillas, a couple of different kinds of vanillas. There's orange, there's bitter almonds, spices, and wheat. So it's supposed to smell like madeleines, those beautiful, delicious madeleines that you'd eat with coffee. Very, very delicious. You know, slightly citrusy, orangey, you know, doughy wheat. Obviously, it's a note in here, but it's a very, very vanillic, slightly nutty with almonds, and maybe a little bit caramelly as well. Fragrance. If you can get this, if you can get your hands on it, I highly recommend it. It's a great, great fragrance for the price point. Actually, making it as an honorable mention because it's a little more difficult to get. But when I first got into this journey on my previous channel, I had a full review of this one in a comparison to Lyra. And I had bought it from Amazon. So Amazon was selling it for a while. Occasionally you'll see it on eBay, but if you have friends or relatives in Europe, especially France, and you can have them send you one, I would recommend it. So it's 29 euros, as I said, suggested retail price, I believe, and that's a 100 ml bottle, and that's Les Centaures Gourmands Tendre Madeleine. Anyway, those are the fragrances that I'm talking about today. The delicious fragrances under $100. Obviously, some are more expensive than others. It depends on your budget and your your taste and things like that for which one you will go with here. But these are all highly recommended by me, and I love them, and I wear them, and really, really do enjoy these fragrances. Anyway, if you have any questions or comments about these fragrances, please do list below. Let me know if you've tried any of them. Let me know if you can recommend any other delicious fragrances under $100 or even under $75 or $50 so I can find out, because I'm always looking, as I said. Anyway, I think this is going to be sort of a budget week. I'm going to have a few budget themed fragrance videos, but I thought this one would be a great one since, you know, it's just now out of the holidays, and we might be looking for some new delicious fragrances. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching today's videos. Please do like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.